No Pat today? He's in his truck today?
I took action on him. I didn't think about it.
Was the car running?
Yeah, it was. I figured he was coming.
Do we have Jody's not online yet? I don't see her. So I suppose I'm gonna have to call I can read that myself. What's that?
Oh, there he is.
I got the paper.
I just tell him. I saw you in your car. I just checked on you. Look how much we are all under for a second. Wait.
Okay. All right. Is everybody ready? All right. We will call to order the Clinton City Council meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we please begin with roll call?
Councilmember Shemmers. Witt. Here. Seeley.
Here.
Davis. Here. Obrin.
Here.
Mussman.
Here.
Kearns.
Here. Councilmember Mussman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular City Council and Committee of the Whole of March 8, 2022, and they be approved as published on March 22 of 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Witt. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
All right. Did we see if Jody was on? Lisa, do we have anyone on there? Or Joy, sorry.
I don't see her,
Nope.
Your Honor.
Is there anybody online from the Junior Achievement? I don't think so. Okay. All right. I can go ahead and read this. So we have a proclamation declaring April 7th, 2022 as Junior Achievement Day. Whereas the City of Clinton recognizes junior achievement of the Heartland's purpose to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in a global economy. And whereas the City of Clinton will observe Junior Achievement Day on April 7th, 2022 as an opportunity to recognize and celebrate junior achievement of the Heartland for empowering our young people to own their economic success. And whereas junior achievement of the Heartland's educational contributions equips our young people to become the next generation of productive employees and self-sufficient citizens to ensure the economic prosperity of Clinton. And whereas junior achievement of the Heartland includes opportunities for educators, parents, and community volunteers to connect classroom learning to life after graduation. And whereas it is fitting for Clinton to support the goals of junior achievement of the Heartland, and we encourage the continuing partnership of business, education, and community in achieving these said goals. And whereas it is fitting for parents, educators, businesses, and other members of the community to join the celebration in an effort to ensure the future success and economic health of our young people and the communities in which they live in. Now, therefore, I, Scott Maddasion, Mayor of the City of Clinton, Iowa, do hereby declare April 7th, 2022 as Junior Achievement Day in the City of Clinton. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Clinton to be affixed this 22nd day of March, 2022. All right. I'll open it up. Does anybody have any comments? No? All right. I would say it's a great program. Since COVID, I haven't had a chance to actually go teach, but I taught econ and Comanche for like four years in a row through this, which was pretty cool, to juniors and seniors. So definitely support this, and excited to see hopefully more schools will get involved. All right. We will move on to public hearings. We'll convene a public hearing concerning accepting bids and awarding contract for reconstruction, 700 blocks South 3rd Street and South 4th Street, Project B-2021. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
No, we have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? If you're online and you'd like to address a public hearing, *6 will unmute you. Is there any council members that would like to address the public hearing? All right, hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Witt.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution rejecting all bids received for the Project B 2021 reconstruction of 700 blocks of South 3rd Street and South 4th Street, authorizing re-advertisement of bids and setting public hearing. I move that the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
After conferring with our legal counsel, we thought it best to make sure it's fair and impartial because there was a discrepancy of the original one from the final one that went out. So this way it's all cleared up so that everybody can be on the same level playing field when they put the bids in.
So we didn't even open the bids.
No, we kept them closed. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah,
All
because
sealed.
sometimes when we have stuff like this and
We've
then
already-
we disclose everyone's bid amounts,
then they
we
all
run
know.
into,
Yep.
right?
Check.
Okay.
Cool.
And I actually mentioned to the library they're very excited because this will be the bookends of 4th Street and 3rd Street where the library, the Y, and the Discovery Center are.
Okay.
And that's part of this project to fix those up, so that would be very nice once those are done.
Awesome.
Cool.
So this will go back out for bid right away again?
Yes, yep. And it should be due in, I believe, by July 29th. So it'll still be this summer to be able to get the work done.
Any other discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
We'll convene a public hearing concerning accepting bids and awarding contract for Concrete Street Rehab, 14th Avenue North and 15th Avenue South, Project E-2022. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
No, we have not, Your Honor.
All right, is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? Any council members that would like to address the public hearing? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Shemmers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution accepting bid and awarding contract for Concrete Street Rehab, 14th Avenue North and 15th Avenue South, Project E-2022. I move the resolution be adopted as read.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
We'll convene a public hearing concerning accepting bids and awarding contract for asphalt street resurfacing, South 14th Street, Project V-2021. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
No, we have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? Any council members that would like to address the public hearing?
What? Can you just remind what intersections this starts? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, so it's two different spots, 14th Avenue North and 15th Avenue South.
No. 14th Street.
Oh, 14th Street?
Yeah.
I do not, but Jason Kraft does.
Sorry. Thanks, Jason.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I was trying to hide back there.
Oh, you meant 15th Avenue South.
14th Avenue North is from 2nd Street to 4th Street. So that's,
South 14th Street.
no, that's,
We're on the next one. Matt's just a little bit behind.
oh, I was reading that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
5E.
So,
Yeah, so Matt was reading
is
the same
this
thing.
from all the way from Bluff all the way?
Yeah, this is from, no, it's from 14th Avenue South by the bridge there over the creek,
Okay.
all the way to Highway 30,
It does go all that. Okay.
all the way to Highway 30, and then we'll restripe everything in a 3-lane, as a 3-lane road.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, so it's a full resurfacing and then restriping of we won't resurface the newer concrete down by the elementary school.
I was gonna say that's in pretty good shape. So this is an asphalt overlay over the existing
Yeah, it
concrete.
was the same thing we did at 13th Avenue North last year.
Okay.
It's pretty bumpy, so smooth things out.
The only question I had was, right in front of the school, that's going to be a 3-lane, or is that going to be
No,
continued?
that will be. Yeah,
That will be a 3-lane.
It will
So
be.
we might get into some issues in the morning, that 8 or whatever, I can't remember what time it is, when the school, because a lot of parents will, to pull up into the drive of Bluff,
It gets backed up.
it gets backed up all the way to
yeah.
Bluff Manufacturing Drive intersection. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about, 15 minutes, but it's always
already-
during that time of day when everybody is trying to go westbound on what is their Bluff Boulevard past that intersection, and it gets backed up sometimes all the way, back. I don't want to say too far back, but to
No,
8th Street.
It goes back a little ways.
It does go back, and that's going to create a little bit more congestion for that 15 minutes. I mean, is that what we want to?
Are we creating a safety problem?
Yeah. Did we already discuss
Probably
the
not.
three-lane conversion of this? We did?
we
Yeah, it was
did.
on the long-term plan.
It was on the long-term plan.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe this was in my.
But and the reason
I'll
why
have to review that. We considered the intersection down there at 11th, making sure we reconfigure those turn
Yeah.
lanes. But I guess, well,
Well,
we
and-
can talk about it at a later date.
And maybe
for sure.
there's just a discussion that needs to be had with the school district, because what they're doing is letting all their kids off at the front door of Bluff, whereas they go further down into the parking lot, but that's where some of the buses park. And maybe it's just a discussion that we need to have with
Yeah.
them.
Well, I know it worked out okay on 13th, but that's where we added a turn lane there. But
Yeah,
we will not create a safety hazard. And
but it may be
we
just
will-
a discussion, with
Yeah.
the school district, just to make sure they know that that's going to be happening, and if they can move further into the park, because it's really a long parking lot.
Yeah.
That if they can get the parents to go down and be letting off kids at the, instead of in front of the front door there, further down.
We've had good experience on 13th, and there was a lot of concerns on
yeah.
that one, so we'll work through it here. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'll get a better answer to you on that issue. I'll coordinate with the school district and report back to you.
How much time do we have so you can come back to us and we can discuss the conversion a little more?
They won't start work for a few months,
Okay.
but
So on the next couple council meetings, you can have.
if you want to have a public discussion about the 3-lane conversion, we can do that.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we'll just meet with the school district over the next couple of weeks, and then we can have a public meeting about the 3-lane conversion, but which we would do that anyway, so. But you want it to come back to like a committee of the whole or something?
Yeah, I don't know if a committee of the whole.
Let's just get her done. Let's get her done
Let's
and
just
we'll-
get her
we'll work
done.
it.
I mean, because we're gonna have to then educate the parents of Bluff going into
Right.
next school year too. That's going to be a little bit.
It'll be a summer project for sure. It won't
Yeah.
be during, we'll get it done before the school year.
Yeah.
So,
But for,
Right.
because they're going to be out of school in May, and probably,
Yep.
50 to 60% of the work is going to be done in June, July, and August kind of thing.
well, we'll bring it back to the council
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form anyway.
The great news is this was $900 under the estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's very.
From a point of view, on that particular street, a 3-laner, I think, is a good idea.
So what we're looking at here is approving the bid to do
Yep,
the
it's gotta-
resurfacing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
And what you guys would like to discuss is how the road's going to
Yeah,
be striped,
The
basically.
total,
Yeah.
two different
Yes,
items.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
It's all about the striping.
we'll do that.
Cool. All right.
Thanks,
Is there
Jason.
Thanks, Chief.
anybody else that would like to address the public hearing? All right. We will close the public hearing. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution accepting bid and awarding contract for asphalt street resurfacing South 14th Street, Project B 2021. I move that it be adopted as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Whit.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes?
Mossman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
We'll convene a public hearing concerning the vacation and conveyance of the bridge right-of-way located at the end of Beaver Channel Parkway. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
No, we've not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? All right, any council members that would like to address the public hearing?
Just as a verification point, we have no reason to ever, as a city, to use the bridge again. Is that right?
No, we'll use the bridge again, but we really appreciate the fact that ITC will own it and maintain it.
What do we have to use it to get? What do we have back there exactly?
If we need a fire truck to go?
Okay.
Yeah.
But do we have like?
No, it's all their
anything-
property.
Okay.
Yep.
Very well. Thank you.
But we can still use it.
All right. Anything else for the public hearing from council members? All right, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Kearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have an ordinance for the first, second, third consideration and adoption.
So we're going to do, well, we need to do the first consideration first.
Oh, come on.
She's watching.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Please read the title.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have an ordinance providing for the vacation and conveyance of the public right-of-way to Interstate Power and Light Company. I move it be adopted as presented.
Okay, now we have a second. So we have a motion and a second for first consideration. Is there any discussion? Go ahead, ma'am.
So I would move the council waive the two prior readings, although I'm not sure it works that way. Move the two prior readings requirement of the Iowa Code Section 380.3 and place the ordinance on its final passage for adoption.
All right, we have a motion and a second to waive the Iowa Code Section 380.3 and the two prior readings. In order for that, it requires a three-quarter vote of all council members. Can we please have a roll call vote on that motion, please?
Councilmember Shommer. Yes. Witt. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes to waive the two prior readings per Iowa Code Section 380.3. We now have the original motion and second on the ordinance. Is there any discussion from council on this ordinance? All right, can we have roll call on that motion, please?
Councilmember Shommer. Yes. Witt. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
All right, 5I, we're going to skip. There was some stuff that was not finished. You want to go ahead and just give a quick...
Thanks, Your Honor. Yeah, so basically, we're still moving forward. They were having trouble with the survey piece, finding the pins, because we need to survey the site. And also, we'll be bringing April 6th to the Planning Commission to vacate the road that's there. But meanwhile, I just want to shout out to both American Water and to Alliant. They're working very closely with Chris Ailes, the developer, to figure out the best route of march to bring electric, to bring gas, and to bring water up in there so that that road can be vacated, because if you remember, there'll be two new driveways off Ikes Peak Road. So we'll move forward with that, and we're also working on a sidebar of where to put a green box over where we just tore one of those houses down, because that's where they're going to look at getting some of the poles on 2nd Avenue South gone.
Oh.
So they'll be underground. It's got to tie into that bluff running one. So Jason will get to work with that as we redo Bluff to make sure that's all proper. So it's a good timing that this is all happening in that area. So.
Awesome.
All right. We'll move to the audience comment section. I did not receive any yellow cards. Do we receive anything in the clerk's office?
No, Your Honor.
Nope. I will give an opportunity. Is there any citizens that are in the room that would like to address the council? Is there any citizens online that would like to address the council? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to consent agenda. Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented on the attachment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Councilmember Shimmers.
7B Bravo and 7AF.
Okay. Any other discussion on consent agenda from council? Okay.
7. Well, are we going to have a presentation on 7K, Greg? 4th of July Festival?
April 26th.
He's coming
Okay.
back. Yep.
Disregard.
He's confirmed that he's going to be, April 26th he'll be.
Okay, so I will not. That's
Okay.
just a letter.
All right.
Yeah, that's just a letter that.
And
It's sort of like anticlimactic because we're already going to provide what he's asked for. We're set to
Yep.
do that with your guys' approval.
perfect. 7T.
T.
Tom.
Anything else from council on consent agenda? All right, can we have a roll call vote on the balance of the consent agenda, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Witt. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Come on. Turn it. Councilmember Shemmers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the claims be received, approved, and placed on file.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims? Can,
Just real quick.
Go ahead, sir.
Claims listing number 2, I will need to abstain due to a claim. Sorry.
His travel claim is on that, so.
I'm on there for the morning.
okay, so we want to do a vote on each one separately? Yes? Okay.
So the first one would be claims listing number 2, dated for March 22nd, 2022.
So is that the motion to approve that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the one I'm going to have to abstain from.
Okay. So,
I'll make a motion to approve claim listing number 2.
thank you.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve claims listing number 2. Any discussion on that? Can we have roll call, please?
Which one are we voting on, Your Honor?
Claims listing number 2.
That's the way it was listed, yeah.
Councilmember Shemmers.
Abstain.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay, and I would
So
entertain
now
a
I'll make the
motion.
motion to pass claim number dated 3/22 of 22, claims list number 1.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second to approve claims list number 1. Is there any discussion? All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Mussman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution accepting the annual financial and audit report for fiscal year 2020, 2021. Brian Burskin, the CPA Director, State of Iowa Auditor's Office. I move that it be passed as stated.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We have Brian online.
Yes.
Go ahead. Did you have a little presentation on the audit?
Yes, I do. I'd like to thank the mayor and the city council for the opportunity to present the fiscal year 2021 audit report. I'll just point out a few things from the audit report, try to be somewhat brief. The first thing I'd like to point out is the audit opinion. If you have a copy of the audit report, this is on page 2, the top of page 2, or if you're using the PDF, it's page 10 of the PDF. Point out that the city received an unmodified opinion on the financial statements, which is the best opinion that you can get from an audit. Moving on to briefly discuss the management discussion and analysis. On pages 4 and 5 of the report, or 13 and 14 of the PDF. Just like to point out that the financial statements for the city are presented from 2 different perspectives. The government-wide perspective, which provides information on the city as a whole, divided into governmental activities like public safety, public works, etc., and business-type activities, which are various enterprise funds as a whole. There's also the fund financial basis. This perspective provides information on how money flows into and out of the governmental and proprietary funds. The governmental fund financial statements provide a detailed, short-term view of the city's general government operations and the basic services it provides. This information helps determine whether there are more or fewer financial resources that can be spent in the near future to finance the city's programs. The proprietary financial statements account for the city's individual enterprise funds and internal service funds. As shown on the bottom of page 8, which is page 17 of the PDF, as you go to that, the city's total net position increased by just over $2 million. Governmental activities increased $653,000, while business type increased almost $1.4 million. The governmental activities net position increased primarily due to a new utility franchise fee. The business type activities net position increased due to increased operating grants and contributions related to federal funding received for COVID-19. A couple things I want to point out in the footnotes. If you turn to page 50 or page 62 of the PDF, point out a little bit about the pension liability. The city's proportionate share of the overall IFRS pension liability was $4.9 million, almost $5 million. And per page 54, 66 of the PDF, the proportionate share of the overall municipal fire pension liability was just over $15 million. These liabilities will fluctuate from year to year depending upon how the investments held by each plan perform, as well as continual reevaluation of the assumptions used by the actuaries to determine the pension liability for each plan. An example of this is in looking at the last two municipal fire pension reports. The net investment income went down by just over $76 million, which was a big reason why the overall pension liability for this pension program went up just over $121 million, which led to the city's portion of that liability going up just over $2 million. On page 58, which is page 70 of the PDF, I'd like to point out the city's total other post-employment benefits related to health insurance. This liability was just over $2 million. This liability also fluctuates from year to year. Similar reasons, the assumptions used by the actuary to determine the total liability are reevaluated each year. They do it in opinion. Moving ahead to page 105 or 121 of the PDF, I'd like to point out the computation of the city's legal debt margin. The legal debt margin of about just over almost $15.5 million as of June 30th, 2021. This represents 17.6% of the overall legal debt limit of $87.8 million. The percentage has been going down over the last few years. So one thing we recommend is that a city, as they go to decide on issuing any new legal debt, should carefully monitor the debt load in the future as it considers issuance of any additional debt. Then I want to just kind of briefly go over the findings in the report. These start on page 115 of the report. I believe it should be page 138 of the PDF. The first finding is segregation of duties issues identified in the report. These are primarily repeats. I think I'll have to go forward just a couple pages on the screen. For some reason our page numbers don't quite line up. Yep, there you go. The second finding is a financial reporting finding, which is also a repeat of last year. During the audit, we identified material amounts of receivables, payables, and some other financial reporting issues, which were not initially properly reported in the city's financial statements. Once we brought these to the city's attention, adjustments were made, and the amounts are now properly reported. Item C, reconciliation of utility billings, collections, and delinquent accounts. This is also a repeat finding. Utility billings, collections, and delinquent accounts were not reconciled throughout the year, and a delinquent accounts listing was not prepared for both sewer and solid waste and reviewed. Also, utility collections per the computer system were not reconciled to deposits. These things should ideally be done monthly. The last internal control comment is related to computer systems. This is also a repeat, just reflecting that the internal control, if there is no written disaster recovery plan, what if something were to happen to City Hall and the computer system was wiped out? How would the city reopen and resume operations? Findings related to question costs and federal awards, which is the next section of the report. There's just one finding related to federal awards, just a small payroll overpayment we noted during our review of the MTA program. MTA payroll list included a manual error, which resulted in one employee who worked 25 hours being paid for 28 hours. So not a big error, just a small thing that was noted during our federal testing. Other findings, which is section 4, there's one related to the certified budget, which is a repeat comment. In 21, The amounts budgeted for public works, culture and recreation, community and economic development, general government, debt service, and capital project functions were exceeded. And we just recommend the budgets be monitored throughout the year to ensure an amendment is made prior to actual expenditures exceeding the budget. The next one is item D, business transactions. This is also a repeat, slightly different individuals, but similar concept. The certain transactions with 3 related parties were identified that may represent a conflict of interest, as they were over the $6,000 exemption provided in Code of Iowa Section 362.5, subsection 3J, and were not competitively bid, which is also an exemption under 362.5, subsection 3D. We just recommend the city consult legal counsel on this issue. Item J, annual urban renewal report. The tip debt outstanding, cash and tip revenues reported on the levy authority summary were understated. Item K, financial condition, repeat, although it is a different fund this year. The Capital Projects Fund had a deficit fund balance of $684,000 as of June 30, 21. We just recommend the city investigate alternatives to eliminate the deficit fund balance. And I'd like to point out, there was a comment last year about capital lease purchase agreements, which was resolved during 2020. One other issue to note, just wanted to point out the Airport Operations Fund has a deficit unrestricted net position of just over $100,000, while the overall net position is positive because of the $8.5 million of capital assets. In 17, the deficit was just $44,000. In 18 and 19, it increased both years, but the last 2 years it has been decreasing, so it's moving in the right direction. Just continue to point out that the city should continue to explore options to bring this fund back to a positive unrestricted net position. Now with that, I'd just like to thank everyone in the city. Everyone that we work with at the city is very knowledgeable and good to work with, and they make the audit go very smoothly.
All right. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you being here and giving us that presentation.
And we'd just like to say a shout out to Selena and her team. They're always very professional, and they come in and work good with Anita Dalton, the finance director, and we appreciate the scrutiny and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Thanks.
Yeah, I will pass that along. I know she really enjoys working with your staff as well.
Awesome. All right. Is there any questions or comments from council for Brian or in regards to the audit report?
Anita kept us here last week till almost 7 o'clock at night going over this.
I think
it was 7:30. It was. So yeah, Matt and Anita and myself and Ron and Rhonda, and it was a good report, and Anita's doing a really good job with everything. A lot of this stuff is difficult staffing, not enough staff to accommodate some of the items, so.
Cool. All right. Any other comments? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Obrin.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a motion to approve the mayor's recommendations to board and commission members. So, okay.
Is that a second?
Yeah.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Councilmember Obrin, would you like to read those for us?
Yes, I sure would.
Thank you.
This is a long list, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
For the Advisory Appointments Commission, we have 2 reappointments, Jennifer Graff and Thomas Fullerton, for 2-year terms each, expiring January of 2024. In the ADA Commission, we have 2 reappointments, Gary McDermott and Laura Wischneider, each a 2-year term. Gary's expires in March of 2024 and Laura's in 12 of 23. 1 reappointment for the Airport Commission, Cody Seeley, 6-year term expiring April 2028. The Airport Commission, 2 appointments to fill unexpired terms. Kelly Goodsman Smith for a 6-year term ending March of 2026. And Richard Carlson fulfilling a 6-year term ending August of 2024. Civil Service Commission, 1 new appointment, Marcia Smith, for a 4-year term ending March of 2026. Finance Committee, a new appointment, Megan Prey, for a 2-year term ending March of 2024. Human Rights Commission, an appointment to fill an unexpired term. I'm not going to say this right, I hope. Amnesia Abdi, I think, Amasisa, not Abdi, I don't know. Sorry. 6-year term, October 24. In the Mayor's Youth Commission, we have 5 new appointments. Mariah Thompson, Madeline Ueda, Randall May, Adam Dieters, and Hannah Assay, all for 3-year terms ending March of 2025. In the Neighborhood Improvement Committee, we have 3 reappointments. Barb Niedermeyer, Jessica Kuntz, and Tom Kester, all for 6-year terms ending February of 2028. And in the Traffic Study Commission, 1 appointment to fill an unexpired term, Barbara Kaler, a 6-year term ending March of 2027.
All right. Thank you. Wonderful job. So I just want to say, before we open up to discussion, thank you to Councilmember Oberon, who is on the Advisory Appointments Committee with me and goes through all these applications. And then thank you to all the folks that volunteer their time to serve on any of our boards and commissions, but especially the Advisory Appointments Commission, because they do a lot of legwork, reaching out, trying to find people to help fill these spots, and then we all meet and go through the applications, and they give recommendations. So we just really appreciate everybody that gets involved here, and we have some spots open on some of these committees that'll be coming up here over the next few months with terms expiring. So if you're interested and you want to be on one of these committees, we now have a brand new online application. Thank you, Lisa and Josh, for getting that done for us. And I'm excited to also get the Mayor's Youth Commission started again. We have 11 seats for that. We have 5 filled at the moment. We've got some boots on the ground with Hillary Birkin trying to find some more, so we're excited for that to get going too. So I will open it up if there's any.
My understanding is we already have a couple applications already being turned in already since our meeting last week. And I know that talking to Hillary, what was it, Friday? I think it was Friday, maybe it was Thursday, that we've got more applications out for the Mayor's Youth Commission. So hopefully we'll see a number of those come in over the next week or so.
Good. Good. Councilmember Shemmers.
If you'd like, I actually have a list of the vacancies. Maybe we can do a little advertisement here to get these places filled up.
Go ahead, sir.
Advisory Appointments Committee, we still have 1 vacancy. And the ADA Advisory Commission, 2 vacancies, although 1 app was obtained, like you just stated. Historic Preservations Commission has a vacancy as of April 1st. Human Rights Commission, 1 vacancy, and 1 app has been received on that one. We still have 6 open slots for the Mayor's Youth Commission. That would be neat to really get it filled up. 1 vacancy for the City Planning Commission and 1 Trails Advisory Committee vacancy. So it'd be nice to get those slots filled up. The input that we receive and should accept up here is invaluable, quite frankly. So we need you out there.
All right. Any other discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving an extension of the owner-occupied roof rehabilitation program. I move that it be accepted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this?
This went to neighborhood.
Yep.
Improvement.
Yep.
Okay.
And also
we're-
updated.
So we've got everything worked out.
Yep, everything's
This out.
in accordance with federal guidelines. We're the,
Very good.
basically for eligibility.
And they
we're
gave the minutes for their last meeting weren't in here, so I didn't get online to look, but they said perfect. All right.
They're excited.
All right.
Yes.
Any other discussion on this?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And the only other part we cleaned up was there was a little misunderstanding of how this worked when we leveraged Miss Anita and Miss Lisa on this. So basically, paragraph 2 is cleaned up to make sure that it's the same wherever the amount is, right? So if you go with me here, so they're paying the first 10%, not first, but 10% of the first $10,000, and then anything over that.
Okay.
So if the roof is only it's $10,000, they pay $1,000. But if it's $15,000, they would pay $5,000
Okay.
over that, and then the 10% that's there. So,
So 6,000.
yeah.
Okay.
We just want to make that, because it was kind of.
It was a
confusing,
little murky last
especially
time.
when the pricing, because they're pretty much, most roofs, no matter, even of the smaller houses, start to peak up above $10,000 as well.
It's getting
Yeah.
costly, especially with sheeting, if you got to do sheeting or anything
Yeah,
like that.
ripping it all off,
Yep.
starting fresh, yeah.
And the nice change we also made is the city is going to be handling this versus
Yes, it'll be
Okay.
in-house, yep.
in-house.
And we did it with ECIA because they've done CDBs in the past, but because this community development block grant is internal from you guys authorizing the low to moderate income funds, it made sense to be able to do this in-house, do the inspections when they're done, make sure everything is up and up.
Okay.
And when is this season when is this round gonna start?
As soon as this is approved?
I think it's going to be happening, hold on a sec, don't want to lie to you. April 1st? No.
I don't remember
Soon.
the date.
I saw a date.
Right
there.
April
It is
1, there you go.
Yep.
Yep, April 1st.
Well, those
Oh,
are the
those
income
limits,
limits. No,
yeah.
I think it's,
I would think we would take
I think this is the
applications
kind-
if it gets approved,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. I think it'd be, want to do it immediately, so.
As soon as it's signed.
Yes.
Councilmember Ron.
All right, so as soon as we approve this, people get to your computers.
All right, any other discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oben.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Shemmers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution setting public hearing on intent to accept offer for city-owned lot at 716 13th Avenue South. I move the resolution be adopted as read.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oben.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Kearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution setting public hearing, sorry, I just moved my screen, on the intent to accept offer for city-owned property at 617 6th Avenue South. I move it be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oben.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Oben.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution establishing a public hearing for the vacation and conveyance of the north-south alley and the east-west alley in Block 8, north addition to Clinton County. I move this resolution be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
Who discovered this?
I think it was Jason Kraft. Discovered that there was an alley underneath the courthouse and the new jail
Well, it
that we couldn't
seems-
drive on.
Seems to me we own part of it, and we've been looking for something.
Yeah, exactly. We told Tom Detterman we actually need to open that road back up.
Can we just use that area?
Yeah.
How wide is the alley?
It's like right in the middle.
Can we raise the taxes to that spot?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
developed?
Yes.
So that's interesting that this is platted this way, because that courthouse has been there a
For-
long
yep.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
So it would have went through the old parking lot.
If you remember where that building was in the middle of the parking lot,
Yeah.
the alley was to the east of that, between that building and the old courthouse.
Okay.
I get you. I follow.
And
The
then-
north-south alley actually goes through the original courthouse proper.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Any other
Things that
discussion
make
on
you
this?
go,
Yeah.
Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oben.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay, unfinished business. The first, Councilmember Shemmers, 7B.
So, yeah, I want to make sure we note, because it's going to come up in the cal later, 8.A on the notes regarding the appointments committee meeting minutes from 3/15/22. I move this be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
The reason I pulled that was just because we do have the topic coming up on the cal with regards to the advisory appointments that Councilmember Sita is going to talk about, so that might be something we could refer to during his portion of the cow.
What are we referring? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
He's talking about the people that have expressed
Oh,
interest
thank
in
you.
finance.
Yes,
Yeah, the finance
okay,
committee.
very well.
All right.
Yes. Yep. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes. We're getting
All right.
ahead of time.
7AF.
Yeah, I just want to commend and the Erickson Center project looks outstanding, and I understand there's a lot of work still going on the inside with weights and stuff. So the main reason for pointing this out is the project looks outstanding, and I know it's still filling up with water, and there's a new dock going to be putting out there as soon as it gets filled up for canoes. I've seen it. It looks really outstanding as well. So great job by the Parks Department. My motion is to approve 7AF.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Seeley, 7T.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just, Matt, did we notify them?
Yes, we will be after you guys do this.
Okay.
We'll let them know. I'll call them up.
Okay. This has to do with the tax abatement. I think maybe a list would be handy of the subdivisions.
Yep. We have that now, and we basically, and we added Zara Heights and also Riverstone Crossing.
Yep.
And
Yep.
interesting enough, in this one, I need to talk to Mr. Lawrence too. So in the urban revitalization and development agreement, he's supposed to send a letter that gets signed by the new
them.
homeowners that they cannot take a tax abatement because that's being included to pay back for the road and the sewer that he's putting in,
Yep.
or other developers put in. So
Yep.
we just need to make sure. We were excited when this came out. Councilmember Seeley pointed out, so we went back to the development agreement. It basically said, no, you can't do that. Now, I will tell you, and I don't know if this is in this case, but a lot of developers, what they'll do, because this may end up being like, for a first $75,000 of a house, might be, say, $800 to $1,000, right? They'll actually take that and put it inside the house at no cost.
Oh, okay.
So that's what some of the other developers do as well, because they know they're foregoing that tax abatement.
Yep.
So like with Bill Wolford at Springdale, he's actually going to upgrade some of the things in the kitchens that would then cover that fact they're not going to get that abatement.
Rock on.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets complicated when we have the development agreements.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
But we have a list now for Karen
Yeah.
and crew, and then I said, when these come through, and I'll be checking, I was just excited that we had new
no,
houses.
it was exciting, and yeah, when
Yeah.
we approved it, it popped in my head
Yep.
after. Then that's when I went to
Yep.
Matt and I said, hey, and so, but it still works out. I mean, it's just the way it has to work sometimes to get the roads and infrastructure put in. So, I'll make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Any more? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move that we adjourn to 5 p.m. April 12th, 2022.
Second.
All right. We are adjourned. Give us a moment to set up for the committee of the whole, and we'll be back with you.